Imagine you are falling, not toward Earth, not toward the sun. You are falling toward a planet that shouldn't exist, a world so broken, so wrong, so fundamentally hostile to everything you are made of that scientists still can't fully explain it. From where you drift, it looks almost peaceful. A pale blue marble, glowing soft as a bruise in the black. Beautiful, even, tranquil. That's the last thought you will ever have. At first glance, Uranus seems harmless. It drifts through the outer solar system like a pale blue marble. Soft, almost delicate against the blackness. Nothing like the violent storms of Jupiter. Nothing like the dramatic rings of Saturn. Just this quiet, distant, featureless sphere rolling slowly through space. But here is the problem. That silence is not calm. That stillness is not peace. It is something else entirely. You are 1.8 billion miles from the sun. The light that reaches Uranus is so faint it barely qualifies as light at all. You cannot feel it. You cannot see it doing anything useful. And in that frozen darkness, the temperature drops to negative 224 degrees Celsius. Colder than any other planet in the solar system, including Neptune, which is nearly 1 billion miles further away. Let that land for a moment. A planet closer to the sun, somehow colder than a planet almost twice as far. The laws of the universe, the ones you were taught in school, do not apply here the same way. Something inside Uranus is broken, and no one fully understands what. But it gets worse. Underneath that silent blue surface, the atmosphere is not made of air. It is made of hydrogen, helium, and methane. But at depth, the pressure builds so rapidly that the gases stop behaving like gases at all. They become something in between. A superheated slush of water, ammonia, and methane, compressed under forces so extreme that the molecules themselves begin to break apart. You would not drown on Uranus. There is no surface to drown beneath. You would simply descend, slowly at first, then faster, crushed, heated, dissolved, until the pressure converted you into something that does not have a name. And this changes everything. Because Uranus does not just kill you with cold, it kills you with transformation. The deeper you go, the more the planet rewrites the rules of matter. Scientists believe that deep within Uranus, carbon atoms are ripped from methane molecules and compressed so violently that they crystallize. They fall, slowly, like rain. Diamond rain, millions of tones of diamonds, falling silently through the interior of a planet for billions of years into a core no human instrument has ever seen. A world generating impossible beauty in absolute darkness, where nothing survives and no one will ever witness it. But that is not even the worst part. Uranus is tilted. Not slightly, not the gentle tilt of Earth that gives us seasons. Uranus rotates on its side 98 degrees, nearly perfectly horizontal, which means for roughly 42 years at a time, one pole faces the sun directly, while the other pole is plunged into complete, total darkness. 42 years of endless night, 42 years of endless day, no cycle, no relief, no rhythm. Just eternity in one direction, blazing or frozen, while the planet rolls silently through space, indifferent to every rule. the rest of the solar system agreed to follow. Why did this happen? What collision? What ancient catastrophe tilted an entire planet onto its side and left it rolling like a broken wheel through the outer solar system for 4.5 billion years? We do not know. What scientists found next was unexpected. When Voyager 2, the only spacecraft in human history to ever visit Uranus, flew past in 1986, it detected something wrong with the magnetic field. On Earth, our magnetic field aligns roughly with our axis of rotation. On Uranus, the magnetic field is tilted 60 degrees away from the rotational axis. And it does not originate from the center of the planet. It comes from somewhere off to the side. Asymmetric, chaotic, pulsing. It is as though the planet has a wound deep inside, something that ruptured, something that has never healed. Stand back from this now. Pull your perspective out until Uranus is just a pale dot against the dark. You are a creature made of carbon and water and electrical signals, living on a thin, warm crust of rock, orbiting an average star in an average galaxy, somewhere in a universe so large that the word large stops meaning anything. And out there, past Jupiter, past Saturn, rolling silently on its broken axis, is a world where diamonds fall in the dark, where cold defies logic, where the magnetic field bleeds from a wound that has lasted longer than life has existed on Earth. You asked why Uranus is more terrifying than you think. The answer is not the cold. It is not the pressure, or the diamond rain, or the endless polar night. The answer is simpler. It is that something happened to Uranus. Something enormous, something violent, something that rewrote the rules of an entire planet. And we have no idea what it was. And it happened right here, in our solar system, in our neighborhood. Which means the question is not really about Uranus at all. The question is, what else happened out there that we have not found yet?